Was a brief break, but we are into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Red Canids on the defense of Anubis. This is their map pick. It is a T-sided map as well, and Made in Brazil want to lean into that in the first half. Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic, and Made in Brazil not trifling with anything middle, anything A. Instead, a straight play towards B. Nades lined up for safe. Second set of utility on drop as well. 2 smokes total. And there is no kit for the defense either. Instead, it's a double dually setup for Hard Zhao. Kevlar on 4/5 of the squad. Martin starts things off well. He had a good set of series yesterday, and he looks to carry that over today. But it is even trades as Made in Brazil enter the site. 2 versus 1 secured by Nython back. Plat drop trades it back. It's venomzera, the dually player, in a 1 versus 1. Drop might have spotted him over the edge, but venomzera has the firepower superiority. He will take the duel. No melodrama required. Red Canids start things off well on their map pick with a defense pistol victory.
Their defense was stronger than their offense in the second map. Quite the converse on the first. They do start off well on the CT side here and now. Going in for double MP9s, double FAMASs with an M4A1S on Destiny. There's a decent amount of utility on the CT side. No kit, but it shouldn't pose a problem as it's just 2 Deagles and Glocks. However, Red Canids did win a full Glock round yesterday, so I guess there is some semblance of potential serious damage. But Destiny is...
dueling with a P2K.
Yes. When he has an M4A1, this is interesting. Maybe he wants to not reveal that gun, the rifle, in hopes to not be overwhelmed and drop that over. That could be the call.
Too much, but... I think that's overthinking. Nice little bait and switch from Exit and Sonny. Very clean micro play to find venomzera, one of the heavy hitters historically for Red Canids. Now they can fall back. They know Red Canids are probably going to make some sort of adjustment, some sort of pivot, some sort of aggressive play, and Hard Zhao is doing exactly that now in towards middle. Coming up through B. Steps are heard though. Hard Zhao doubles back. Small 1, 2, a third possibility. No, safe trades it with the Glock, but at least a tied ball game now. Nython in middle, FAMAS in hand. Round 2 and the third seems likely. Tapping away, the FAMAS finishes the job. Second for Red Canids, not clean, but they keep all the rifles up, and that is the most important factor in that one.
Still decent damage, all things considered, for MIBR. 2 kills. Pays for itself, essentially. The minimal investments they went through. Now they're on the AKs. Okay amount of utility. A couple players a little lacking, particularly drop, BRN, and safe. But MIBR have the weaponry to counter Red Canids here, who have the AUG on Nython. That is a neat adjustment. Something we did not see yesterday, but a gun that we saw Young Sharks use to its fullest capabilities. That's a tasty little nade, too. Tucked right in onto BRN, hiding behind the boxes, and Red Canids showing some things we did not see from them yesterday.
Things that didn't quite come to fruition. I don't think many players sat behind that box for the Young Sharks, but I digress. They picked this map for a reason. They're solid on this map. Their record is 10-1 for a reason. Nython has had a solid start. He has that AUG, as you mentioned. I do like the adjustment as well. This mid player, which Exit Martin, is going to be tested. He did take over yesterday on Anubis multiple times. Double digits in like 3 or 4 rounds. The group of venomzera taking point finds 1. It's traded. Swings from both sides. It's a flurry of frags that end with a very slight advantage for the Red Canids. Just BRN. He's over towards A. He's racing for a flank, but Destiny should have this covered. Smoke should seal Burns' fate at this stage. Go through it. Head spotted. No chance. Destiny finds the kill. AK recovered. And that is a very, very solid call. Very solid mid-round call from the Red Canids to double swing middle from both Temple and Exit.
Great work there from the Red Canids. Now they get the op in Nython's hands. AKs, M4s, a symmetrical buy coming through. Pistols out on MIBR, Tech 9s, P250. An okay amount of utility, and this fast play could actually bear some fruit. especially the flashes work perfectly. Molotov not used. Destiny will combine with Hards Out for the initial 2 on the peaks, though. Safe swings in. It's Hards Out. Back Pizza. Tag onto him. But there's still Destiny here, and Sonic does drive by him, but Exit's going to get naded into Oblivion. Does get Hards Out from the grave, so 2 kills again on the half buy, but MIBR need to get something going on the guns. A timeout here would not be remiss, and Red Canids are just going to buy up again consistently, keeping some players alive. Their economy's not great, but they're winning rounds. They've got 4 already on the CT side, and MIBR have done nothing to counter this. No timeout. AKs across the board again. And another default, it seems, from the T side.
The biggest thing for me is Red Canids are losing players where they could arguably save them, but they're also preventing bomb plants. We've yet to see a post plant from MIBR Brazil. They've yet to get that far. It's very telling of how solid and astute this Red Canids defense is. Flash over, blind drop, spam. It's dinked for 7 to the edge of that brick. Also, Nithon does have the op in hand now. We'll see if he can start with his best foot forward today. Hopefully feeling a little bit more fluent with it. They just had some time yesterday to practice. In Brazil, far more slow and respectful. They're not playing aggressive towards A main for fear of the utility. Idron calls the press. Ooh, narrow miss. He almost had the opener. But he has the information nonetheless. No one's towards B main. They've fallen out. In Brazil are likely towards mid and potentially A as well. Red Canids are opening over already, and venomzera from Heaven finds one, stays alive, and finds a second, in fact, off the peak. MIBR Brazil are getting shut down. Insani in middle, spotting one sure, but he's flashed. Red Canids are more than ready for this split take.
Nice tag from Nithon. Hards out. Double dink onto drop. Exit with nowhere at all to run. Just a save if he wants to try to secure Destiny, but Destiny's just sprinting across F1 race car peak mode. B site's open though, so Exit could. Never mind. He gets flanked from Canal. If he would have ran all the way up their E-box, he could have got the bomb down, but this is a terrible start from MIBR. And meanwhile, Red Canids are looking incredibly strong. It is their map pick, sure, but this is a Red Canids we didn't get to see yesterday.
This is an outclassing.
Mm-hmm.
The mid-round calls are not being expected by MIBR Brazil. They're still holding angles to get blinded by those exploratory flashbangs. They're getting scared and playing more passive. They're taking ground given, sure, but they're not doing it quickly. They're doing it very slow, with much trepidation. Timeout. Okay, I guess, but you're going to be on a half buy. Pistols and armor, maybe an aggressive play. But I would have loved to see it before a rifle round instead.
Yeah, they should have taken it last round. Because the halves are so short now. The games are so much shorter. It's 6 rounds shorter. To a full, like, max round regulation period. A 4-0 lead is almost equivalent to what a 6-0 lead would have been back on Go. In fact, it might be slightly more advantageous to get that 4-0 lead than an old 6-0. I think that's going to come down to how teams adjust to the macro strategy of things. It's not exactly all the micro adjustments, the in-map things, it's also the psychological aspect of it and feeling out how rounds affect things. Nithon, there's another one on the op. He's starting to click. Maybe it just took him until the end of last matchup. Now he's starting to shoot, but BRN and drop a pair of kills, and BRN doubles up off for him now in hand. Molotov the ward off, anybody pushing through. Hards out, taking shots, not going to stop the plant as MIBR off the back of the timeout have gotten the bomb down behind Cake. BRN dropped by Hards out, rather. Destiny and Hards out coming through on the retake. They do have a kit. Only one flashbang for utility edge seen. Not removed. Hards out creeping down the stairs. That's crispy from him. Destiny spams the smoke in heaven. Drop destroys Hards out. It's up to Destiny in a 1v2 and Sani on the op out A main. We'll get the first round on the board for Made in Brazil. It seemed like it was a long time coming, and it seemed like it was going to take a lot longer than this last round, but MIBR off the back of the timeout find a way to victory.
Yes, they do. And the critical factor in that one, the difference maker, the king maker, was the flashbangs. The op was overwhelmed, sure. The second player, venomzera, was back of sight. No one looked at him for a solid 4 seconds, but he was so blind that he could not recover. He was caught by the deagles. The next player, Barthin, who was coming out through exit, going towards the back of sight, up towards heaven. He was caught in rotation and could not get a spray down because he was also blind. And that is what made the opportunity for them. They did not let it fly by. They took it by the horns. They made that round their own. In Brazil. Advantage now, and the op is safe. Finds an opener, but it needs to be careful. Barthin doubles up, a big pair to find. The bomb dropped, the op dropped, and the advantage swinging back to the CT side. Hard as I praised Made in Brazil for their flashes and their utility usage, they enter into an A site and don't use any to support themselves. Barthin back site now. There's normal haunt. Destiny to support up close. Destiny the first. The last one alive is Insani. As fiery hot as he is, a 1v3 with 10 HP seems impossible. No bomb either. Add insult to injury.
A great A take into a flop for Made in Brazil. That is not the response they needed to their first round on the board. If anything, it sets them back. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, as Red Canids should be able to grab a 7th off the back of the ensuing half buy, which is most likely going to actually save to AK, drop can buy, save can buy. Third round lot. They could force around it, be a little ugly for BRN and exit, but especially exit. But they might be enticed to force around the saved AK. One thing's for sure, though. Red Canids are starting to settle in incredibly well on the defense. And they are looking stronger and stronger. They respond well to getting overwhelmed by some good flashes, some cheeky pistol plays, and they don't really panic change anything. They just like, all right, let's make an adjustment, and wasn't that big of one.
No, they weren't phased. They didn't have to reinvent the wheel. They knew the wheel still worked. They just had to throw some duct tape on there. Rewrite it. It's a little bit crooked. In Brazil, their buy is hamstrung now. Yeah, exactly. Realignment. Safe on the op again. Galil, a couple AKs. Decent enough utility, but Made in Brazil have not wowed us strategically as of yet. Running volley in middle. Upwards Barthin back, but he's always played passive towards the middle beyond the first 20 seconds. It's still looking calm and confident.
Lots of mid control for MIBR, but will it work? Because Red Canids are expecting this. They have Barthin holding with some utility out towards mid, Destiny hards out in towards Canal. Barthin does fall back to site and groups up with venomzera out A main, but MIBR are stalling out in mid here. They're spinning wheels, just sending mud flying backwards and not actually moving forward. And the problem with stalling out in mud, Nate, is the fact that the more you spin, the deeper you get stuck. You're going to need a plank or something to get them back out. Some utility to get some ground over towards A. It's a pincer with BRN out towards A main. venomzera in the pool. Taps. Nice headshot. Doesn't expect the second player. Oh, how has he lived that long? BRN doesn't even get that kill. BRN's just holding a flank. And look what happens with Barthin out towards main. That's why you need that player to come through A main, BRN to push through, to help them out. Things have just been ruined at Nithon with the last. Some hesitation across the map from MIBR that really costs them heavily. They have to move at some point. They can't just keep on holding.
BRN not activating at a critical juncture. He was being watched for. It was not going to be an easy fight regardless, but he needs to do something at least. His teammates are getting cut apart from 3 angles, and as you mentioned, they're kind of hesitating, Made in Brazil. That's giving Nithon an opportunity to get set up. Nithon in CS2, not really the best at peeking. We saw that in B main earlier, an unfortunate miss. But if he can get set up in a spot towards heaven, anywhere on the map, really, he can thrive, and he's definitely thriving right now. Everybody on Red Canids is fast. Destiny's at the bottom with 6 kills. The top is Barthin, Nithon, and Hardzao at a 3-way tie with 8. This is a wall of a defense from the Red Canids.
It is a stone wall, a brick wall. And Destiny will take down the first as it's a backwards walk in with flashbang for BRN. Nithon picks up another on the off. Hardzao and venomzera, and Nithon again. This is the Nithon I wanted to see yesterday, and we didn't get to see it at all. He's looking good. He's looking real good.
Tactical timeout 2 used makes sense. Again, this is a T-sided map. One of the most T-sided in the pool, I dare say. Made in Brazil. Only a 50.6% win percentage on T-side, but an even more concerning 45.4 on the CT.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I would have said 7 would be a minimum for Made in Brazil. They're looking at a best case of 4, and let's be realistic, 4 is probably not going to happen.
Yeah, MIBR are looking down the barrel of abject failure on map number 1, at least half number 1 of map number 1, unless they have something special planned for the CT side. 4 is their best case scenario on T, where Red Canids with a 48.8 CT win percentage and a 64.1% win rate when they put on the mustard. This is, well, looking like MIBR should start prepping for Vertigo, to be quite honest.
I'm very interested to see what kind of prep they've done because their record's 2-7.
Yep. It's a weird veto from them. An incredibly strange veto.
I'm really hoping they have something on Vertigo. Because if they don't, this is going to be the first series of this close qualifier that ends in 2-0.
You weren't supposed to say that, Nate.
I jinx it?
Yep.
I'm always down for some good, old-fashioned, to the third map Counter-Strike. Maybe they'll have to earn it, and right now they definitely haven't. Good start for BRN, though. Looking to shut me up. Mid-round call is an aggressive play towards B main. It looks like Drop has made an adjustment as well. He's getting closer. This should be in front of the flash, perhaps? No, he's still blind again. And Destiny chops him down hard. Zhao finds Misani. And Nithon finds a third exit. Trying to close the exit towards E-Box is caught as well.
Look
it's
at A,
safe
though.
in BRN. Sure, the A side's abandoned. But the bomb has to rotate around, and Red Canids are already wise to it. They're already grouping up and pressing for a flank. Sure, Made in Brazil could get a bomb plant, but I don't think there's a world where they can hold off in the post plant.
Bomb going down. That'll at least help the money for MIBR, but they need rounds. And that is not the way to start this one off on the hold. Hardzao with the duel against BRN. Safe, not able to flick out on towards the entry. A no-scope leg onto Nithon. Safe can't catch a break. That's a 9th on the board for Red Canids. Holy smokes. This is a half and no mistake for the Red Canids, and a great response to a disappointing performance yesterday overall, because they struggled to close out. They struggled in critical junctures. Now, they might not get tested as much here on map number 1. Map number 2 is where we'll see a little bit more of what Red Canids are really made of. This is their bread and butter map after all. They pick it as much as they can. It is their second most played map, only to Mirage. And they don't pick Mirage, they pick Anubis. Another thing, too, I'd like to note, the fact that Red Canids got those 2 players outside B main and didn't continue aggressing right afterwards. They went back to site, regrouped, and then went again once things started to solidify into that A rotation, that information was gained. It wasn't over-aggression, it was a very well-positioned aggression. There's a nice idea, but it doesn't work out. The Molotov way too late there, an exit and drop through. Lots of damage taken, but this could be a bomb plant here for MIBR. Maybe something more to come because they need this round, and BRN has made it so much more likely.
See, the Molotov is good, though. Forces them out of E-Box. Didn't quite catch the bomb plant. venomzera and Nithon are going to go for it. It makes sense. They can easily reinvest in the following. No questions there. The following is the last round of the first half. Nithon. It's not given any window of opportunity. venomzera caught through a smoke. Talk about unfortunate. Made in Brazil finally finding something here, a little bit more aggressive towards B main, calling out the peaks from Red Canids. That is an adjustment that should have come so much earlier. But hey, at least they get something in this first half. Safe trying to hunt down this Opera to get an op for himself, but Nithon is not missing today. He'll take down Safe, he'll survive. Last round of the half, Red Canids still an opportunity to secure double digits, but maybe Made in Brazil have finally figured out the defense.
Maybe they have, but is it too little too late? That's the other question. Also, it feels like whatever Opera I say is a good Opera has a terrible performance right afterwards. Because I said Nithon's a solid Opera yesterday. And now I'm like, yeah, Safe, one of the best Operas in South America. And granted, he's on the T side, but some of the shots that he should be hitting haven't been connecting.
It's the Caster's Curse. It is a very powerful weapon. Again, this pressure towards B main is being called out. A double peek from drop and exit. Nithon, though, supporting, finds a trade. Drop will survive.
You know what it is?
That nade radius. What is it?
Nithon's taking his time. He's not rushing. You see that shot there? He sat, made sure it was on, and then clicked.
And the hesitation from Made in Brazil is enabling that.
Mm-hmm. And now there's another one from him too. Nithon is really settling in. I think we've also noticed that from Junior too. Not too many flicks. He's just more getting on target, taking the shot, moving on. Steady as she goes. BRN, or rather Barthene around the cake. How does he get a second onto Insani? Destiny with the last. It's a 10-2 half. We're going to hit the break, and when we return, Red Canids might just have a chance to run rampant on map 1.
The term dominance doesn't quite do justice to what the Red Canids did in the first half of Anubis. It's Pineapple Phillips and Boggs on the mic, and Red Canids. Rather quick setup towards B. Nades coming over. Burns in though. Matt Platt will start things off for Made in Brazil as he tries to right the ship. Safe is here as well. In fact, there's 3 players defending. Smoke though, walling out all of the attackers. Venomzera, though, is still lurking towards A. He is the out. If he can find an opening across the map, he might just shift gears and look elsewhere. Sani, middle, holding and spotting. Will not force the issue. He'll get the information. He'll fall away. This is a very slow round for the Red Canids, and I'm not sure that works for or against their fate.
Yeah, I mean, if they can group up and explode, I think that'll be fine. But if they continue just getting drawn out and picked apart one by one, it's obviously not going to work out well. They lose the long-range fights against the USPs, but they might just get an opportunity here. Out comes the swing, and it's kills going the way of Red Canids, helped by a team kill from Drop. Safe out into main, runs out of ammunition. Destiny on the crouch will shut him down, and Sani trying to get something back to equalize does bring it to 2v2. The bomb has been planted, and that means at the bare minimum, Red Canids can force into the next round. Exit caught by Martin, rather. And Insani creeping onto the side. No kit available yet. P250 tap from Martin. And Red Canids, both pistol rounds. Last stat I saw on CS2, a 78% chance if they convert this one to take the map. And well, given the fact the score would be 12-2, I think that probably jumps somewhere to 99.999 with a line.
I was gonna say, I don't think there's a world where they lose this. I would love to be wrong. I'd love for the Caster's Curse to kick in, but I don't think Caster's Curse is that strong. Third tactical pause if I made in Brazil, understandably so. At the end of the line, they have to buy. They cannot win 10 in a row. I don't think that's in the realm of possibility, so they'll put their foot down now. Get some pistols. Eagles, a 5-7. Safe had a scout. There it is. It's brought back out. And burns in an MP9. It's going to be desperate. Red Canids. 1 MAC-10, 4 Galils, good utility. And they're looking to put this first map to bed before Made in Brazil can even really wake up.
Yep. The Red Canids have given themselves the best opportunity to take map 1. And a great response mentally, too, from what has to be a disappointing finish to yesterday. MIBR, they led Anubis through, because they're not terrible on it. They played a lot. But boy, have they been wiped away so far. Yes, it's not over, but it's almost. MAC-10 does the damage on the safe. A little bit of drive-by hit-and-run tactics. Hardzao gets some more damage and gets a kill on to Drop. Down very low. Eagle from Insani is a nice little parting gift. Hardzao will grab the Galil, though, and say, if you want the MAC-10, sure, there you go. I'm not going to stick around any longer. Meanwhile, his teammates exploding in towards an A. Take through main. Smoke from Exit will block them off. They're going to go through it. Molly on the pool. Exit! Only one. Destiny will trade that one out. 2 casualties, but it is a force here from MIBR. They should be forcing and buying for the rest of this game. Python will plant the bomb as Destiny goes for a nade. That one takes a weird bounce and doesn't go far enough, but he still delivers the headshot onto Safe. Counter utility not enough. Spray will be 2v2, 2v1, but low HP on both these 2 players. Good supportive flash, but BRN rather has to know where Nithon or Howard Zhao is. No kit though, 9 HP. This is dire. He's just fake.
Hardzao's calling him out. Not even peeking Hardzao. He's just going to sit in the corner. He knows that Burnsin's not going to stick it. He doesn't have the gumption to do so. And again, he doesn't have the gumption to do so. Now Hardzao will swing. He'll find the kill for free. 12-2, map point secured. It's 10 map points as well if needed. Made in Brazil. Trying to force up as best they can. Burnsin can get an M4 in Kevlar. Nova for Insani. And again, I have to wonder for Made in Brazil, even as they enter their own map pick coming forward, are they going to be ready or are they just slow to start? Are they even really woken up at this stage?
I don't know if MIBR have turned on their PCs.
Oh, they've got to turn on the monitors. That's the issue.
Yeah. There's just been nothing from them. This is their last chance. Everything rests on this one singular round for Made in Brazil. Saves on the scout, tags down one, takes another shot, but he cannot get more yet. Exit behind that smoke. That'll go away. They'll spot out a couple of players. Trades going back and forth, favoring the T side as venomzera now makes it a 3-for-1. BRN the lone kill. venomzera caught off guard by Exit. Is there anything more to come from MIBR? Nithon with the Galil, leaving drop in a 1v3. Nithon is low at 37 HP, but Hardzao and Bartin both at 100 HP. No kit, no mollies, no nades. It's all going to be fights. One for drop, but he needs two more. This position's so strong for Red Canids. What can drop do? Good little peek. There was a bait and switch and didn't even need the swap. It's going to be Red Canids with a 13-2 annihilation of MIBR. Earlier, we saw a 13-0 phase over Ents on Anubis, a 13-2 here at Jönköping South American Close Qualifier, but that leaves